Today I want to tell you 4 things that you need to know about growing romaine lettuce. Hello, I am Nicole Burke and I'm the owner of Gardenary. Garden plus ordinary equals gardenary. So whether you're a beginner gardener or a pro gardener ready to turn into a garden coach or somewhere in between, Gardenary is here to support you to grow to the next level. So please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell thing so that you get a notification every time we drop a new video, and stay tuned for tons of growing inspiration. Today I want to talk to you all about romaine lettuce and growing your own, and 4 things that you should know about it. The very first thing I want to tell you about growing romaine lettuce is you should totally do it. Romaine is one of the hardiest salad greens that you can grow in a kitchen garden. It's going to last further into the hotter weather. It can withstand cold weather too. It's just super hardy. There's a reason why we get so much romaine lettuce shipped around the country, is because it's just a super durable, tough plant in terms of lettuce plants. You should also grow it because most of our romaine lettuce, in the US at least, is grown in just 2 places. In fact, 98% of the plants grown in the US, the romaine plants shipped across the US, are grown in Yumas Valley, Arizona, and Salinas Valley, California. So when you grow your own, you're cutting down on food miles, you're cutting down on fuel usage, and you're gonna get leaves that taste so much better than those ones that have been sitting on the grocery store shelf for 2 weeks. So that's the first thing to know. The second thing to know is that romaine lettuce, for the most part, loves cooler season weather. So early spring, late spring, early fall, late fall. Romaine lettuce is gonna thrive when the temps are between, say, 45 and 75 degrees. If you notice that my romaine is looking a little huge, that's because the weather has really come up in terms of temperatures here. So we've been in the 80s and even almost hit the 90s in Chicago. And so these lettuces aren't in their optimal conditions anymore. So they're starting to do what we call bolt and create new seeds. So you can check out this one. This is probably one of the more ideal looking plants. This bolting has just happened within the last, say, week or 2. So up until this point, I was harvesting from these plants and enjoying them all through the cool season. So that's the second thing to know, is getting the timing right. The third thing to know is that these plants love to grow in a sandy loam soil. In fact, what I did with these is I planted them in 100% compost. Lettuce loves to grow in rich compost, so you don't have to get super fancy with your soil blend. So you can use a sandy loam like I recommend in my book, or you can simply just plant in 100% compost like I did with these. You can also grow them in a very small space. So I planted out this little planter for Earth Day this year. So Earth Day is in the middle of April, end of April. So put this planter together and it's been growing and thriving for more than 2 months in just this little tiny container. So sometimes we feel like we have to go big or go home in terms of the garden, but if you're just getting started, this is a great way to get started right away. It's just a little steel tub. I put drainage holes underneath it, filled it with compost, and then planted up my romaine lettuce plants. So that's the third thing to know. And the fourth thing to know is you've got to harvest it again and again and again. Actually, there's 2 ways to harvest it. So let me show you here. So one way to harvest your romaine lettuce is to cut from the outside. So you can come into the plant and cut again and again from the outside. So the outside leaves are the oldest leaves, most mature. So you can cut them and enjoy them and let the plant continue to grow up from the center. That's one way to harvest, and you really want to be harvesting from your plant when it's in its optimal time frame, because they're going to taste the best, taste the sweetest. In fact, I like to say harvest early in the morning. That's when the plants are going to have the sweetest flavor. The other way to harvest one of these plants is simply to cut the entire thing off. So I can come in to this area. Let's see which one I would do. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll cut this one over here on the end. So instead of cutting from the outside, I'm gonna grab it like a ponytail. And the ones that you buy from the grocery store, this is the way that they're harvested. So they'll cut the entire thing as one big group, and then, you know, use that to serve up a Caesar salad, a killed salad, however you wanna do it. So those are really the 2 ways to harvest. Now, when you harvest this way, you might get one more set of growth from the center, but it's unlikely you're gonna get very much. When you harvest from the outside, I found that I end up getting more production off the plants. This is more the cut and come again loose leaf method, and this is more almost like a head type of lettuce method. But those are the two ways you want to be harvesting, and you really want to harvest as often as possible when your plants are in their optimal season. So those are the 4 things for you to remember about romaine lettuce. Number 1 is you've got to grow your own, because shipping romaine lettuce across our country and then tossing it all in the trash every time there's a scare of salmonella or E. coli or whatever is no bueno. So grow your own. Number 2, grow it in the right time frame. These love cool season weather. Number 3, you can grow it in sandy loam soil, compost, and you can grow it in a super small space, just like this little bitty tub. And number 4, as soon as you start growing it and seeing the leaves, you should start harvesting it. Cut and come again is a thing, you guys, and it is the best thing. In fact, it's the reason why I'm eating 1 salad a day from my garden for 6 months. No joke. All right, I hope you feel inspired to grow your own romaine lettuce. It really is one of the simplest, easiest things to do in a kitchen garden. I mean, literally, I could call this little container here a kitchen garden, because I'm cutting from it and bringing it into the kitchen. So I hope you feel inspired to grow your own. If you want to learn more about growing salad, I have a great download that teaches you 4 things you need to set up your own salad garden, kind of like I did right here. So you can grab that download right below this video and start growing your own salad right away. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and I have to say, there's a whole podcast episode on the Grow Yourself podcast dedicated to romaine. It's called Romaine Calm. I mean, fitting, right? So go check that out. I'll put the link below this video if you love listening to podcasts. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.